The tea is exceptionally good today. Who made this? Very delicious. Hold on.
Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought we was finished? Welcome back to another episode of Astrology Tea with your girl Nova Charm. And yes, we are hopping back into that Baddies Chapter 2 Astrology Breakdown. And this is part Trey. So today we are closing out this series by breaking down the final wave of the heavy hitters. And you already know it's basically the OGs, okay? Now we already broke down all the newbies that's coming into the Baddies. And now that's Zeus girls. Yeah, that's what they calling them now. That's Zeus girls. As well as Jocelyn's cabaret girls that are now cabaret baddies. The DJs, the special guests, and the graduated Baddies Gone Wild girls. Now we're diving in on the key placements that are shown off on the show, which would be the Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Mars. And with those placements, we're going to figure out who's playing cold, who's calculated, and which one of these girlies is the psychological sniper in the shadow. So if you was ever curious about why specific baddies react the way that they do once some cameras start rolling, then you come to the right place because I'm finna tell you. But before I get to breaking this down, you already know what I need from you. I need you to hit that like, go on and subscribe to your girl if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of this cosmic tea that I want to sip with you. Now let's dive straight into it, starting with one of the big three groups. And actually, this big three group might be a big two at this point. And the one who might be just a little left out is K Rican. So let's get into her placement. Now, starting with K Rican's sun, she is a Scorpio sun. And that means she likes to display herself in a more mystique way. She's more mysterious, a little bit more private. We never really know what's going on with K Rican. She kind of just pop up in the scene. She may stay the whole season. She may not. I mean, she kind of does her own thing. Now, she is definitely paying attention and watching everything that's going on in the room. And she definitely keeps her cards close to her chest. Now, of course, you're going to know if she don't fuck with you because she just not going to deal with you at all. Loyalty, of course, is very important to her. So I already know that what she's experiencing with Code Killer and Fauna, it's probably really hurt her heart. That probably really hurt her feelings, the fact that they didn't have her back the way they kind of had each other's back. You feel me? Now, once a Scorpio feels betrayed or they feel like the loyalty just isn't equivalent, then that's when you're going to see a different side of her. Now, on top of having a water sun, she also has a water moon, which is in Pisces. So our girl is a big feeler, okay? She feels everything. She knows about the unspoken tension. She knows about the bad vibes. And she probably feels misunderstood a lot. Now, Tommy Lee and Ivory actually share this placement as well. These individuals can literally be emotional chameleons because they can feel everything in the room. This is one of the placements where I was talking about before, where they may pick up on the energy in the room and they will feel something being off and they'll react to that and nobody else will figure out what the hell is going on. So it may just seem like they just acting out of nowhere. Well, Kate Rican has that same thing going on. And her being so intuitive and just soaking up all of that energy, that could explain exactly why she be in and out so much. Now, that moon is going to make her feel everything, but that Mercury is damn sure going to make sure she says everything because she has the Mercury in Sagittarius. Now, this is exactly where the plot thickens, because when it comes to the sun and the moon, they're a little bit quiet. They're a little bit private. They're a little bit more chill, you know. But when it comes to that mouth is unfiltered and it's fire. And it's a sister sign of Gemini and it just don't care what it says. Kanaya actually shares this placement too. Their communication is brutally honest. They do have humor when it comes to that. They are naturally funny and they will say things that they didn't even really mean for it to be funny, but it just was. Now, we don't get to see a lot of that because, like I said, how she shines out to the world is a little bit more protective, is a little bit more cautious because of that sun and moon water. But when our girl gets in those confessionals, one thing she's going to do is talk that shit. It's going to be loud, it's going to be blunt, and it's going to be direct. When she get on a live, I'm sure it gets quite reckless, and that's why she be having fades. Speaking of which, when it comes to her fades, her Mars is in Virgo. So we're talking about strategic. Virgo Mars are extremely calculated, okay? They like to plan their attacks. She definitely likes to study her opponent before she gets in the ring with them. She want to check for their flaws. She want to check for their posture. And she's looking for any sign of weakness. She's not going to do like a Fire Mars where they're just going to run up. No, like I said, it's going to be very planned. It's going to be very calculated. And it's going to be something that she sat and thought about for a second. I don't know. This kind of just gives her this unorthodox type of energy. Just because of her sun and moon, you never really see her coming. But do you know whose electrifying energy you do see coming? Co-killer. And she is a rebellious Aquarius sun. And I have to say, she reps it. She reps it. She gives independence. She gives unbothered. She gives a I'm breaking the rules type of attitude. She don't give a damn. She's not following anybody's program, and she feels the way. She's going to say what she needs to say. And being one of the first artists being signed to the Zeus record label. I guess I got a record label now. I mean, that is definitely giving innovative. Now we know Fauna is definitely going to have Co-Killer's back, and Co-Killer is going to have Fauna's back. But Co-Killer is definitely okay with standing on her own. And that gives very much Aquarius sun. Now her sun is definitely going to give detached and I don't give a fuck. But that moon definitely does. That moon definitely has a whole lot of fucks, okay? And it gives them. It gives them. Because she is a Pisces moon. And just like Tommy, just like Ivory, and just like Kay Rican, they can feel the energy as soon as they walk in the room. She's checking for hidden motives and all of that. So if you see her snapping out, it's just because she picked up on some energy that she don't like. Now, I did fail to mention before with Kay Rican, but I didn't with the others. Pisces moon can be a little delusional, so you do have to worry, or kind of be cautious of that. Just make sure that the feelings that you're feeling is authentic and your mind isn't playing tricks on you, okay? This type of energy can definitely do that for some of these. So sometimes they may be just going off, but there's also a good chance that she's just picking up on fake energy. And that is something that a Pisces moon just simply will not stand for. Now, because of the fact that that Pisces moon feels everything, she doesn't just get annoyed. She completely crashes out, actually. And when it's time for that crash out, that Capricorn in Mercury is going to come across brutal. It's going to come across direct and plain downright ruthless. Disrespect is something that she just will not stand for. And if she said it, you better know she meant it. Co-Killer is going to stay hard, plain facts, and it's going to come across completely emotionally detached and just blunt and honest. Now, Capricorn Mercury's, their words come across very heavy because of the fact that they're so direct with it. She's a very much, I said what I meant and I meant what I said type of person, and that's just what it gives. Now, when it comes to her Mars is emotionally attached to her moon because she has a Mars in Pisces. She's definitely emotionally led when it comes to her fight. Now, best believe her Aquarius sun will never let her show, and her Capricorn Mercury will never tell you. But if she comes to the point where she's fighting, it's because she done got her feelings hurt, honestly. When it comes down to fighting, she definitely gets emotionally charged. Now, of course, Pisces is a little difficult in this area, so it's not like she comes across as a traditional type of fight. She's mostly driven by instinct, but she's definitely a sneaker. She's gonna be the one to run up on you. Her fighting style can sometimes be a bit chaotic, and it changes up. Now, Co-Killer is not fighting for clout, okay? She's fighting because of her respect. If she feels violated or feels disrespected, this is when she is going to be ready to fight. This is coming from a place of spirit, y'all, okay? When she feels the bad vibes off somebody, yeah, it's time to fight them. And at this point, the only one that she's truly holding it down for is Fauna. So let's talk about Fauna's placement for a minute, because Fauna is a Gemini queen, okay? She's starting in with the Gemini sun, which is giving social baddie. Now, honestly, Fauna has lived an incredibly amazing and interesting life up until this point, because not only was she a police officer, but she also was seen in that Nature Boy documentary with the Carbonation crew. I'm like, what the hell is Fauna doing there? But, Gemini energy, jack of all trades. What can I say? Now, Fauna is not the type of Gemini sun like DTB or even Tommy Lee for that matter. She gives more of a Egypt or Tasiki type of vibe. They're a little bit more laid back. Now, I honestly think that if it wasn't for her loyalty with Co-Killer, she would be able to float in and out between the different friends groups a little bit more. She would actually be a lot more social if Co-Killer wasn't here. But because of the fact that she naturally knows Co-Killer has her back, she gonna make sure she stays exactly where the loyalty lies, okay? Fauna definitely gives laid back. She's very versatile when it comes to her looks, and she has a Capricorn moon that came here for business. Now, because of the fact that she does have like an air heavy chart, like this Capricorn moon kind of does balance out that energy a little bit. It actually balances out a lot of it. Now, when it comes to emotion, she does not do emotional sloppiness. She's not going to be sitting around crying all the time. Capricorn energy is in its detriment in this position because Cancer, which is its sister sign, is actually ruled by the moon. So in this area, emotion is not really expressed well, nor will this placement get their feelings hurt easily? They literally have a wall of fortress up around their emotions. So it actually takes them quite a bit of time for them to get their feelings hurt. It just does. Now, the things that would trigger her in this area would be incompetence or just people just wasting her time. But the very, very, very top of the list is the respect thing. She does not go for the disrespect. She's looking for the logic. She's looking for the maturity. She's not trying to do the childishness and trying to see people acting a fool. She's just not with all of that. And these are some of the things that can actually piss her off. And she's a very much I said what I said and I mean what I say type of person because her Mercury is in Gemini. Her mind goes 1,000 times a minute. I just know it does. And her way of reading somebody is definitely going to be sarcastic. Now, she's a fast thinker, so she's going to be quick with any type of comebacks, and she's always going to break down and dissect the argument. Gemini energy is going to say the things that no one else wants to say. Gemini energy is going to say it loud and proud, okay? So Fauna is no different. Now, not only is her Sun and her Mercury working together very well, but also her Mars is in on it because she's a Mars in Gemini. Even further in her capabilities more to really verbally annihilate you. I really feel like Fauna ain't giving us the best that she's got with these placements that I'm looking at, baby. Now, DJ Scott and Santa Girl also share these placements. Now, of course, if y'all haven't seen their video, it is in the description below. But the style is given unpredictable. Gemini being a mutable sign and a mutable air, it is going to switch it up like nobody's business. And her mouth don't stop. So she's the type that's going to be talking shit while she's fighting you. Now, Gemini and Mars typically moves fast. And it has a lot of stamina. Mars and Gemini just has this overall unorthodox type of style. So their opponent never really knows which way they're going to come. And that's what makes this placement, do its thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the dangerous part about this placement in particular. And one thing is for sure, there is never any type of guessing when it comes to Fauna. She's going to be very direct and let you know. If she has a problem with you, you're very much going to know that she has a problem with you. And honestly, due to her Capricorn moon, it's just another day at the office. Now, Fauna's energy being so cool and laid back completely helps me get why Tavy baby was maybe a little bit too much for her. And let's get into her placements and why. Because Tavy is a Taurus sun. Now, without a doubt, Tavy has this unmovable presence about her. It really does give that bull energy. She's incredibly loyal. She's definitely willing to do what she needs to do when it comes to getting that check. She does hold on to grudges for a minute. She fought Big Lex and lost how many times before she finally gave up? I mean, I'm just saying. Now, Tavy doesn't like the unnecessary chaos. And because of that Taurus energy, she does try to control the energy of the others around her as well. And because of the fact that she's completely unmovable, she expects everybody else, including her friends, to be like that too. And this is why her and Fauna fell out. Because Fauna is all that air, and air can't be controlled, baby. Now, I honestly feel like a lot of her energy trying to control what's going on around her has a lot to do with the fact that her Pisces moon is involved. Once again, we talk about that Pisces moon. I told you it picks up on bad vibes. This is something that Tommy Lee shares, Code Killer, just to name a couple. But it is incredibly empathic and it picks up on the energy in the room. So it does not do fake. And if it feels like the energy is fake or if you're being fake, that is enough to get her emotionally triggered. And she's going to be ready to square up about it. Now, in addition, her energy is also looking for anybody with any type of hidden agendas. Now, Pisces energy tends to blame a lot, okay? So it's definitely going to blame others for the reason why they get emotionally stimulated. It's definitely somebody else's fault all the time. Now, when she gets triggered, of course, we got to look at that Mercury, which is in Gemini. So we got another fast-talking, loud, aggressive, rapid-fire, sarcastic mind that's moving 1,000 miles per hour. Now, honestly, on this show, she kind of stands alone. And part of that has a lot to do with her outspokenness. She's going to say exactly what she feels, whether you like it or not. Now, of course, Gemini represents the twin, so it can observe as well as talking shit at the same time. And that's what she does. Multitasking at its finest, okay? Now, when it comes to fighting, she is a Mars in Cancer. And I honestly feel like her moon and her Mars kind of work together with those water energies because, like I said before, if her moon feels like, and notice I said feel like, but if it feels like she is being made into a victim or somebody is trying to play with her, her defensive Mars is definitely going to kick in. And that Cancer energy is going to pick up the fields where that Pisces energy left off. Now, because of the fact that it is ruled by the moon, it moves in the dark. Tavy is another one who will like to sneak up on you. And her style will switch up because of the moon. Being the ruler of Cancer, it does switch up a lot. Now, this energy definitely does give defensive fighters. So this typically is not a placement that just goes out and just starts shit with people. But they are incredibly protective and they are incredibly loyal to the people who are loyal to them. Now, they will definitely be one of them that's out in the street fighting about their family. Like, don't play with them. Now, regardless of what you may think of Tavy, she is not doing this for the clout. If she's beefing with you, it's because she seriously does have a problem with you. Because of that Cancer, Pisces, and Taurus energy, she does have a problem letting things go. So her beefs can tend to go a little bit, you know. Now, another baddie who could tend to drag it out a little bit, it can be Tinkerbella, okay? And of course, it's because she's a Taurus sun, okay? They hold on to things a little bit. A Taurus is just like when they see that color red. When they lock in on that bull comes out. And at that moment, they are ready for some action. But before then, they're chill. They're chilling. They trying to basically have a good time. Now, she pretty much stays calm and centered. Very similar to Diamond. She does that little WrestleMania stuff. I told you that bull energy is very much a charging type of energy. Now, Taurus energy basically deals with the senses, the things that you can see, touch, taste, and feel. Now, smells would be included in that. And they be saying, I'm gonna just leave it alone. Okay, let's move on. Now, she has a moon in Aries. So I'm sure her energy can throw people off a bit because one minute she is real chill and the next minute that Aries energy is getting extra active. People trying to play with her intelligence or even being ignored would piss her off. Now, when you start talking about things in Tinka's personal life, that is when she will get fired up. If you're making fun of her looks, especially her body, this might be something that she might want to square up about. Now, when she's upset, she will tell you. Unlike some of the other water moons where they'll absorb the energy, she's not absorbing shit, okay? She's feeling it and she's instantly going to be ready to take some action. She ain't got time to play around with y'all. Now, her moon is more than likely to react before her Mercury does because her Mercury is in Taurus. Now, Taurus and Mercury doesn't really say a whole lot. However, their words do hold weight. So when they do say something, it does have a little punch to it. And she's going to stand on what she says. She meant it. She's going to stand on that. And she's probably not going to take it back. You're not going to see no apologies from her for real. She is incredibly stubborn when it comes down to it. Now, Tinkerbella is not the one that you're going to see getting into a shouting match. She's not going to be standing around crying and shouting. A Mercury in Taurus is very steady and it said what it said. And there is no back down spirit within it, okay? It also likes to control the conversation and the narrative. Now, this energy is definitely a lot more grounded. So it's almost like you get the grounded version of her. Then as she gets pissed off, you're going to get that Aries, which is that fast action emotion. And then after she's reacted through her emotions, then she'll come back and sit down with you and have a conversation through the Mercury. Now, her Mars in Libra is going to make sure that everything is balanced and fair. Now, because of the fact that Libra is in its detriment in Mars, she really is a diplomatic fighter. She really feels like she has to have a good reason to even be going toe to toe with you. So basically, if you keeping cool with her, she gonna be cool with you. Now, because Libra and Aries are sister signs, her moon and Mars are constantly doing that balancing act, trying to waver. Most of the time, she detaches mentally from the fight. So she's the type that can stop doing her hair, go fight, and then go back to finishing doing her hair. I'm just saying, that's a little bit of Tinkerbella. Now, getting back to the big threes of the bunches, when it comes to Mariah Lynn, she worked hard for her position on the Baddies. That's all I can say. And her energy is unbearably loyal. Okay, she is a Cancer sun. She is that do or die, that sister friend that's going to hold it down. She wants to feel like you family. She's loyal and she is very protected. She going to fight for you even if you ain't fighting for her. Okay, now she likes to show off and shine out to the world by letting everybody know that she is that loyal ride or die friend that's going to be down for you no matter what. Now, because of the fact that she is a Cancer sun, she is emotionally driven. She does feel everything and everything goes to the heart. And she really finds that you are her friend because you have to be loyal to her. There has to be an equivalent to the loyalty here. But if she feels like you are that person that's down for her like that, then she will go to the end of earth for you. She just will. Now, that Cancer energy is incredibly protective. And it doesn't do the fake, but it's incredibly important that she has to feel safe with you. She has to feel like you are just as loyal to her as she is to you. Now, Mariah Lynn really just can't help but show off her Cancer energy. She really does give hard shell on the outside, but soft on the inside. Now, her being a Taurus moon just doubles down on the fact that she needs loyalty and she just can't do the fake. Peace, safety, and comfort really is her big three. And if she can't feel any of those things around you, then y'all have a problem. Now, her sun sign is already empathically picking up on all of the feels, but that moon is definitely going to have her centered and just steady. It just really gives her a moment to think about everything that she's, feeling. Now, a Taurus moon rarely changes their mind about their friends. So if Mariah Lynn was quick to switch up on you, then she probably never really thought you was friends in the beginning. She never really trusted you. That's literally a key indication. And due to her sun and the moon, it's likely if you got beef, you gonna have beef forever. Okay? Now, her Mercury in Leo definitely make her a firecracker when she communicates. Mariah Lynn Confessionals is definitely the star of her show. Okay? Our girl's forever giving us a catchphrase. And this Mercury in Leo is the reason why. Now, Amber Ali and DJ Sky both have this placement. So that's kind of why it's a little funny seeing her and DJ Sky go at it. Because it really just gives they're arguing with themselves at that point. Now, having your Mercury in Leo, you're going to be fiery. You're going to be very much prideful. And this is exactly why we see every single vein that Mariah Lynn has in her forehead and her neck when she goes off. This placement ain't sitting around whispering about nothing. It's not being passive aggressive. No, it's being loud. It's being direct. It's being performative. She's going to put on a show. She wants all the attention. Okay. She spotlight cameras action. Okay. Now her mouth is going to be quicker than her Mars, but her Mars and her moon do rock together because her Mars is in Taurus. So this energy once again gives defensive fighter. And this is another reason why if you have beef with her, you're going to have beef with her forever. I'm just saying her all of her energy screams loyalty, screams stubborn as hell. Now, Mariah Lynn is not the type to go around looking for a random fight. I know. It doesn't seem like that because she's always jumping into one of her friends' fight. But she really does feel like that's a good reason. You know what I'm saying? It's all that loyalty energy that she has. Now, her Mars does give her that physical endurance to where she would want to keep going and going and going, even when we want Mariah to stop. Okay. I just keep on thinking back with her and Asia doll. Like we was begging Mariah to stop. Please, Jesus. I'm just saying. But when she has a target, she locks in on it. And that's just all she wrote. That's just all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. And she's moving with precision too. She's not doing it just fast and unorthodox, or she's not coming out of left field. There's no fire or flare to it when it comes to the actual fight itself. Now, when it comes to her mouthpiece, when it comes to her talking her shit, yes, there's all the flair in the world. But outside of that, well, while Mariah is locked in and still making sure she holds things down between her and Tasiki, Biggie, on the other hand, is kind of outed out of their big three due to her calling Tasiki weird. Now, we all seen it. So let's talk about her placements because we already know that that's going to be her drama this season. Now, Biggie is a Virgo sun, and she's actually Virgo dominant in her top. So this girl does a lot of overthinking, and this might be why she be too scared to get in the field. She be really thinking herself out of the fights. Biggie is coming in and clocking in the baddies like she's clocking into her job. This really is work for her. This is exactly why she's been working on all of the outside projects that she's been working on outside of baddies and making sure she makes the most out of this experience. Now, Virgo is the perfectionist baddie. So when it comes to Biggie, she is definitely concerned about how she looks. She has determined her baddie value based on her work ethic and less about her fight. This is exactly why when she gets pissed off, she's asking Natalie, how much money are you making with me? And all Natalie can respond and say is a lot. Now, Biggie is the type that she is very observant. She's watching everything that's going on. She's going to be ready to call people out on everything that's going on. But she is very much the baddie that is about her business. Now, she has the audacity to be a Virgo moon too. So this is exactly why her and Stunna got into it. Because she found Stunna to be unprofessional. And this is something that a Virgo moon would definitely find triggering. Being unprofessional, acting sloppy, being disorganized. Earth energy loves to control some shit. So they definitely going to be looking at how everybody else is acting and making those judgments. Now, because Virgo energy is extremely logical, she knows exactly why she's mad. But because of the fact that it can be very planned out and manipulative, especially when it comes to her Virgo in Mercury, child, that's a triple Virgo off top. And with a Virgo mastermind, first of all, Virgo is home in Mercury. So it's definitely utilized its exalted power. Biggie is definitely going to be the one that's gathering all of the evidence to prove her point. She has timelines. She has receipts. She's not going to be just yelling at you, just some random screaming match. She's going to have actual evidence to back up exactly what she's saying and explain exactly how she's feeling, whether she's right or wrong. And she's going to remember exactly what you said 3 weeks ago at 2 p.m. If you are being a hypocrite, she's going to put it out there. That is exactly what that Virgo in Mercury is going to do. Her confessionals, she's telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth based on her perspective. And this is whether you like it or not. This is just who she is. Now, her Virgo in Mercury is exactly why I feel like Biggie be hesitating a lot when it comes to fighting. This type of placement will definitely give you that overthinking type of vibe. But she does have her moments where she snaps out of that overthinking vibe and just gets in the field. And normally when she runs up, she'll start off good. She just don't keep going. You know what I mean? But she does have a Mars in Leo. And I think that might be why. She's definitely the theatrical defender. Now, a lot of times when it comes to her fights, they definitely give performative. They go viral. Sometimes they are humorous. And she's definitely going to put on a show. She's the type that's going to go live if they're not even filming and tell all of us what's going on. Now, once the Mars has kicked in, she has a lot of pride. She has a lot of ego. And notice if we're seeing that side of her, then we know that she already pissed. We know she bad. Now, typically in this area, Mars and Leo are some great fighters, okay? There really is a lot of potential there. But because of the fact that Leo deals with confidence, you got to be a confident fighter. And right now, Biggie just isn't a confident fighter, okay? So she's not maximizing her Leo in Mars energy to her fullest ability, if you ask me. But I guess that's something that just has to be developed over time. I don't know. But this energy is definitely big on loyalty. That's why, that thing that happened with Tasiki was very staggering for her. And it was definitely prone to or going to piss her off. The problem is because of the fact that, that Mercury Virgo thought she was being a mastermind. She thought she was being the puppet master and thought she was going to get Tasiki to be able to fight for her. And that just wasn't going to happen. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and jump on into Tasiki's placements, because the reason why Tasiki wasn't happening is because she's a Gemini sun. So we got that Mercury on Mercury action going on. So Tasiki definitely thinking about what she do before she does it. As a matter of fact, that one twin might be thinking a little bit too much. Now, as I said before, she is not a Gemini sun like DTB. DTB is a little bit more entertaining. And Tommy Lee is entertaining as well. They're not quite like Tasiki. Tasiki kind of falls under the umbrella of the Miss Egypt and Fauna type of energy. Now, she still is definitely charismatic. She still just has that cool overall vibe to her. Well, it's not a secret that the girlies say that Tasiki is boring when it comes to her confessionals. And her being a Gemini sun, I'm like, yeah, she probably should be eating those confessionals a little bit more. Especially because of the fact that her Mercury is in Gemini too, but we'll get to that in a minute. But I did have to look at her whole chart, and she does have some aspects where her placements is square in Saturn. So I'm like, okay, that's what it is. That's exactly why she doesn't give in the confessionals like you feel like she should. But she definitely plays on her strength. We know what her strength is, and that is music as well as fighting. Now, I am going to need her to go ahead and drop another song. I mean, we all know she's 8 and we full. I mean, Natalie done surpassed her. We got to get her another hit. But the Gemini sun is really why Tasiki really just be trying to chill. She really don't be trying to get into too much unless she is provoked into some shit. Now, she is a Pisces moon. So she's another one of those that walks in the room and she feels everything in the room. She's already picking up on your energy. And others that share this placement with her, of course, is Tommy Lee, K. Rican, Code Killer, and Tavy Baby. She doesn't like fake people. She doesn't like fake energy. She doesn't like it when she feels like somebody's trying to do some sneaky shit behind her back. Now, when it comes to Pisces energy, though, I always like to read the warning label because, it can always give you those delusions. But for the most part, it is that emotional sponge that's soaking up everybody's energy in the room and picking up on who's being real, who's being fake, and secretly preparing herself for the crash out. Now, when it comes to her Mercury, like I said, it is in Gemini. Now, because of the fact that it is home here, I mean, I'm with everybody else. I was expecting with this placement Tasiki's, confessionals to eat a lot more and be a little bit more entertaining. However, like I said, when I looked at her type of squares that she had in her chart, it definitely was some squares with this and Saturn. So that's going to cause a problem. Okay. I don't care who you are. She fights to come out of her shell and she really has to feel comfortable. And her personality comes out in due time. That's not something that always resonates good when it comes to reality TV. You know what I'm saying? She can sometimes get trapped in her own brain. But when she's not overthinking her confessionals and she's just really just talking plain, Tasika can actually be kind of funny in a blunt, aggressive type of way. I mean, I'm just saying. We know Gemini energy going to say whatever the hell it want to say. But that Mars and Leo is definitely the reason why she is not to be played with. Now, of course, That Gemini energy is going to have her switching it up, but that Mars in Leo is definitely that heavy hitter, okay? And this is exactly what I was talking about, the difference between, say, like Biggie. Biggie has the same placement, but she's not confident in her fighting skills. So it's like she'll run up, hit, and then run. You know what I'm saying? Tasiki's standing in the paint. She's confident. She's standing there. She knows she can fight. She knows this is her strong suit. She knows this is what she's good at. She knows this is what makes her the star of the show. When it's time to square up, this is where she shines at. This is her spotlight. And I promise she never disappoints. She is incredibly aggressive as a fighter. She's incredibly dominant. She very much gives us that lion in the jungle that is about to dominate her prey. And when she catch her prey, she gonna eat. She gonna eat every time. We know. Now, Biggie for sure can give us some comedy and some laughable moments. And Tasiki is definitely going to give us those powerhouse dynamic fights. Some baddies kind of give us a mix of a little bit of both. And Bad Dolly, I feel like it's both. She's going to give us some good, pretty decent fights, and she's going to give us some pretty decent confessionals. And hell, at this point, she's going to drop a nice little snazzy song too. Now, when it comes to this big three, with Bad Dolly, Big Legs, and Summer, they held each other down for, a couple seasons, a few seasons. It actually took Dolly a lot to stop fucking with Summer, and her Cancer sun definitely explains why. I told you before, once the Cancer sun gets locked in with you, they can be incredibly loyal. They're going to hold it down for you. Good, bad, indifferent. They don't give a damn. They're going to hold it down for you. They have that protective energy that's going to defend the people that they love and care about. This is exactly why she's jumping in fights. Well, was jumping in fights anyway. I'm just saying. Now, if she loves you and she really cares about you, she's willing to go to war behind it. And as we've seen in previous seasons, Dolly and Big Legs, for that matter, we're taking on a lot of Summer's beefs as their own and getting themselves involved. But after a while, if she's not seeing that back, then of course it's going to change up. Now, Cancer energy being ruled by the moon, it switches up very quickly. We talking moon cycles here. So if you and Dolly done has some beef, you could be thinking that y'all cool, and that water done held on the memory. That Cancer water done held on to that memory, and y'all was just cool earlier that day, but later on that day, she felt like fighting you again. That's just that Cancer energy. I'm just saying. Now, Cancer energy is driven by the heart, and it is driven by respect. And one thing it do not play about is its family. Now, on top of Dolly being a Cancer sun, she's also a Cancer moon, so it's a double dose of that. Now, if she feels like you are threatening her emotional security or just her overall security because of the fact that she's a Cancer sun as well, then you're definitely going to have a problem with her. This is going to be a trigger for her. She also doesn't do the fake shit. She doesn't do that. Now, Cancer energy is willing to get the party started for the drama because it is luminary energy just like Leo, even though it doesn't really require the spotlight like Leo. This energy will still do stuff just for the flair of it, okay? Now, in addition, Bad Dolly is a Mercury in Leo. She's another one of those verbal assassins. We're talking about this is where she shines at, okay? The spotlight is definitely on Bad Dolly when she gets in that confessional and says what she needs to say. And you may not always like what she has to say. Sometimes it's going to be funny. Sometimes it's not. Either way, she said what she said. Now, once again, that Leo energy, because it's luminary, it is going to be tied to that Cancer energy as well. And it's also big about loyalty. But this energy is big, it's loud because it's a fire sign energy. It's bold, it's in your face. She's going to wake up the whole house talking her shit. She's going to be laughing and joking and playing with you, but still cussing you out. I mean, it's a combination of all. She really shines here. She really shines. Now, when it comes to her fighting skills, she is a Mars and Taurus. Now, this placement lets me know that Dolly be doing a lot of this just for the show of it. Taurus and Mars is very slow to anger, so she doesn't get mad too easily. So I don't know if there might be some girls that might take it a little bit too personal, what she might do or say, but I can guarantee she's not always taking it that personal. Now, once she don't like you and she's fighting you, she's going to be fighting you a lot. I mean, once you've gotten to that point, it is what it is. Her style of fighting is definitely aggressive, and she also has that charge. But the good thing about her charge is she's swinging while she's charging in. But it still kind of gives that bull ole type of energy. You know what I'm talking about. Just saying. And her hits look like that, she might be a little heavy-handed. I'm just saying. And another person who looked like they might be a little heavy-handed is Big Legs. Especially she got them long-ass arms. Let's go ahead and get into Big Legs placements for a minute. Now, 'cause she's a Virgo sun, so she's very precise. On top of having that long reach, I'm just saying. Now, she likes to present herself very much in a Virgo type of style with the standards and how she feels like, other baddies should be acting. I mean, that's what she came in on. Now, Big Lex is definitely peeping every little detail that's going on in the room. She's peeping your flaws, fighting style, and she's doing it with precision. She's going to be gathering facts and calculating her next move. I told you, Virgos like to plan things out. It can be a little manipulative, a little bit. Now, in addition with Mercury being in her sun, Mercury is also in her moon because she is a Gemini moon. So if you want to get Big Lex emotionally triggered, you definitely have to get in her head. And it's not going to be easy because a Gemini moon is not emotional. They articulate their feelings very well, but they are not incredibly high on emotion. Now, stupid people and stupid situations do trigger a Gemini moon. Also feeling like they're being alienated or left out of the social clique. That will definitely get a Gemini moon going. One thing about Gemini moon, though, is they respect and love somebody who is straight up. So I can see why her and Summer were friends. Now, she definitely stays in her head a lot when it comes to situations. And she's always thinking and trying to outsmart, and especially with the Mercury in Libra, because that definitely gives a diplomatic chess player. So it almost gives like she's strategically charming. Like she wants to come across like she's diplomatic, like she's doing it for justice type of thing. Like with the whole beef with her and Jayla during the first season that Lex was on there. Now, when she is in the confessionals, she's going to give calm. She's going to give balance. Even if she is reading, she's still going to have a smile on her face because that's a Libra Mercury, okay? Now, when it comes to her fight, she is a Mars in Capricorn, which it's exalted in Capricorn. And this is why she's good at doing what she do. Big Lex is an absolute powerhouse, and she is definitely one of the heavy hitters. I ain't going to say she is the heaviest hitter, but she is definitely one of the heaviest hitters in the house. She has that discipline, she has that structure, and she definitely has that stamina. These are all the things that helped her when she was playing basketball. And they have definitely been an asset and a compliment to her in this baddie's house. A Capricorn in Mars is incredibly dominant. It's not going to do the slappy crash outs. It's going to be very precise. It's going to treat this like a business transaction. She's basically saying, I clocked in to whoop your ass and that's what I'm going to do. Everything about Big Lex's fighting style is very controlled and very deliberate. She even has a structured square up style. And she's very patient with the setup. I'm just saying, she knows what she's doing. Now, Capricorn energy can definitely be karmic. So I'm just saying, them hands can teach some lessons. They can teach some lessons. Now, unfortunately, one of the people who had to learn a lesson from Big Lex fist is Summer, none other. Okay, I love Summer though. I love Summer. I mean, we got to control her mouth sometimes, but all in all, she's cool, man. I like Summer. Anywho, Summer just really is being herself. She is an Aquarius sun. So, I mean, yes, she's that rebel spirit. She's going to say all of the things that you didn't want her to say. She's going to be that person that you didn't want her to be. Why? Because she's being herself. She's damn sure not going to fake her image for anybody. This energy is exactly why she's willing to stand in the paint all by herself if she has to. She is the all in all rule breaker. So that's why when Summer does her antics, I'm not surprised. I'm looking at her like, yeah, she's very true to her energy. And I got news for you. Her Mercury is in Aquarius too. So yes. Okay. But we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. Let's get into her Cancer moon because this is home. So not only is she incredibly okay with who she is and confident in her sun being her unique self, but her moon is also home. So she's very confident and comfortable in her emotion. Now that Aquarius sun is definitely going to play things off. Okay. It's going to be that chill. Well, she's not chill, but you know what I mean. It's not going to be affected, but that Cancer moon definitely is affected. And Cancer energy, like I said before, is that ride or die family vibe. So I know the situation between Big Lex and Dolly. I know that really hurt Summer. And because of the fact that she's so confident and so fully who she is and okay with being who she is, she doesn't completely understand why these girls who she looked at almost like family at this point would leave her out there by herself when she's just being her and doing what she do. I mean, this is how she looks at it. But this energy, like I said before, it doesn't take kindly to disrespect. It damn sure don't do the fake shit. It don't. So while Summer is definitely coming across like she is completely unbothered and she's not paying anything no mind, that Cancer energy definitely makes her feel something. And this is probably the placement that makes her act out more than anything, honestly. And it's just because of this energy being so incredibly raw and being so incredibly sensitive. So she's not the type of person that just gets annoyed. Like, she literally feels that in her spirit, in her soul. And so, yeah, it got to be handled. Now, when it comes to her Mercury, though, like I said before, that is in Aquarius. So her mouth matches her sun. So she don't give a damn. She is brutally honest. Okay. She's going to say all of the things that nobody else is finna say. She is going to say the wildest, completely unorthodox shit out of her mouth. And she's going to tell all the truths. She's going to tell your truth. She's going to tell her truth. She's going to tell everybody's truth. That's why, as much as I love Big Lex, I'm sitting here looking at her like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It might have been some little nibbling going on. I don't know. I mean, it ain't none of our business either way. But all I'm saying is, Summer just has one of those mouths and those minds that Aquarius and Mercury, it don't give a damn about how crazy the truth is. It's going to tell it. Now, when it comes to her fighting, because after that Sun and that Mercury, she definitely has to get to the Mars. We got another person whose Mars is in Libra. Now, Libra being a diplomatic air sign, it just gives eye for an eye. It always want to make sure it evens the score and everything is fair. Her dignity and her pride are very big in this area, as well as she doesn't want to be treated like a social outcast in this area. Now, trust me when I say that Aquarius energy don't give a damn about standing by itself, but that Libra and Mars really wants fairness and justice. Now, it is definitely one of those calculated placements. And I don't know if y'all aware or not, but Libra kind of has a little scale karma behind it. It likes to even the score. So there is a little bit of karma energy behind that. So even if everybody around her, even us as viewers, feels like she's overreacting to a situation or taking a situation too far, in Summer's mind, she's just balancing and evening the score. Now, of course, if she feels any of these things is going on, then that's when those scales will get unbalanced and you will see why Libra is the sister sign for Aries. I'm just saying, you will. Now, the last baddie that we got, of course, is Roly Poly Snacks Meal, or y'all just know her as Roly. But see, I met her on A Chance to Love, season 1 and 2. I think that's what it's called. You know, that show with Chance. Anyways, Roly has definitely come a long way since then, okay? Say what you want, say what you will. She is probably, outside of Natalie and Scotty, definitely one of the Zeus queens. Oh, of course, we got to add Janisha in there too. Okay, let's add Janisha in there. Either way, Roly has been around Zeus for a very long time. I don't know who she knows up in there, whose cousin she is, or who she has paperwork on, but Roly is never going to be without a job. I don't care how many times her and Natalie get into it. Now, we've already talked about how Virgo suns get down, okay? It's earth energy. She shares this energy with Big Lex. She shares this energy with Biggie, Camila. You know, a few of the baddies got Virgo sun. She's observant. She's collecting evidence. She's not only going to read your behavior, but she's going to call it out verbally. She definitely does not like doing the fake, which most Virgo suns, I think, is just that Mercury energy, because Gemini is the same way. They appreciate authenticity just as much as Uranus does, okay? Just as much as Aquarius energy. So I'm just saying, she likes things to be kept real. And if she sees people being fake, then it's going to be a problem. Now, Virgo energy, being a perfectionist, probably has a little bit to do with what she feels the way she does about her body. But, you know, that's another subject. But it is the perfectionist, and it is always sitting around judging people, okay? Now, Roly is basically the second in command when it comes to it. And that Virgo energy definitely has great discernment, but her Pisces moon has excellent discernment. And once again, just like Code Killer, K-Rican, Tommy, Tasiki, they're all picking up on the vibes of the room when they walk into it. Now, that Virgo energy is definitely going to say everything that Pisces moon is feeling. Now, that Pisces moon definitely knows how to keep things on the low, knows how to keep secrets, okay? So it's going to keep quiet until that Virgo sun has collected enough information before she can say what she needs to say. And when it comes time for her to say what she needs to say, she gets right back into that Virgo energy, because she's a Mercury in Virgo. And once again, this is home for Virgo. This is exactly why Rolly can talk shit with the best of them, okay? Her confessionals always do eat down. She always keeps it real. She always has a moment every season that goes viral based on something that she done said. She's quick with the wit, and she will dismantle and break you down. She's going to be critical. She's going to tell it like it is, and she's not going to hold her tongue. And if you got a problem with it, well, then that's when the Mars kicks in. And if the Mars done kicked in, then she's emotional because her Mars is in Cancer, okay? So it definitely is a mama bear type of defensive type of thing. This is exactly why she knocked the Mario coins out of Diamond for saying what she said about her son. Now, true indeed, Rolly will talk about family as a sore spot. Just saying, some of that sounds like a combination of that Mars and that Virgo. I'm just saying. But when somebody says it or does it to her, you definitely going to have to fight her about it, okay? Sorry, Slim. Now, if she has locked in with you, then that means that she looks at you like your family, and she's definitely going to defend you to the end. She's going to be loyal, and she's going to be incredibly reactive when it comes to things, all things about you. Now, with this type of placement, it's not just about fighting for sport. She's not fighting for a storyline. She's going to fight you if she does not feel secure around you. She's going to fight you if she feels like you're a disloyal or distrusting person. Now, when it comes to her overall style and how she does it, like I said before, Cancer is ruled by the moon, so it switches up. Just like the moon has phases, so does Rolly's stance. She's never going to come at you quite the same each time. And the biggest way to really just dig into this energy and really just get her going would be overstepping those boundaries that her Virgo and Mercury have already placed down. Now, I'm not really surprised about the Virgo on Virgo action. I'm just surprised on who it is. I can't believe that Rolly and Big Lex is going head to head this season. So, but we probably ain't going to see that till, about 2 months. By the end of the summer, we'll see that fight. But nevertheless, that should definitely be interesting. Now, I am going to wrap up this series. I sure hope that you guys have enjoyed it. I definitely put a lot of time and energy into this. So please go ahead and like if you like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see y'all in the next video.